All right, here we are. Short story long. Brand new episode. I'm excited about this one. This is my friend. My friend that I know has a lot of history. I respect this person a lot because I know his history. I know the work he's put in. But the great thing is I don't really know all the details of the history. And that's why I do this podcast, because I get to be nosy. DJ Vice, welcome to Short Story Long.
I'm happy to be here.
Man, I'm so excited. I've seen you probably, I don't know, 3 times where I was shit-faced in the club.
Keep it real.
And I've said, dude, you got to do an episode of Short Story Long. And you're like, I'm down whenever, just let me know. And I'm like, all right. And then I would see you the next time and do the same thing. Finally, we made it happen.
And you hit me, and I'm a big fan of, like, when someone asks me to do something, right away I try and schedule the date and time there.
I love that.
Because it's so LA. Like, I'm born and raised in LA. I live out here. It's so LA, isn't it? Now that you've been out here for so long, that people are like, yo, we should do lunch. And like, cool, hit me up next week. All right, cool.
Yep.
That
That's
never
the
happens.
worst. But especially when you're talking about an actual thing. Like, I kind of get the, like, we should do lunch sometime. Okay, cool. But like, yo, come do the podcast. All right, man, cool. It's like,
Right.
So when do you want to do the podcast? You know, like, you instantly, like, you were on it, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I was hyped.
But you're not a very LA dude. You're not one of those Hollywood types.
What it is for all the people that don't live in LA or you've never been to LA, LA has a bad rep for a lot of people that come to LA, excluding yourself, come to LA with motives of like, I'm going to be someone, I'm going to be cool, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that, and I got to act a certain way to be that person.
Yep.
So a lot of times when I tell people, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm born and raised in LA, they're like, oh, LA people are, I don't know.
But it's not you.
And I'm like, no, that's there's this little circle of people that are trying to do something that they're not really doing anything.
That's true. And that's actually a really good, I don't know that I've ever heard it put exactly that way. Meaning, like, they're putting up a front because they're trying to act like a version of themselves that they're not.
Yeah.
Which is so true.
Yeah, totally.
I just always looked at it as like, it's all about who's who and who's, but you're right. It's like you come here and you're like, yeah, I'm this too.
I'm doing something.
I'm one of you guys.
Yeah.
That's true. I wonder if I probably did that.
I like a real quick funny story I remember, because my wife moved to LA eventually at one point when we were dating, and it's like one of her first few nights out, and she went to a club with some of her girlfriends, and she came back all pissed off, like, LA sucks. And I'm like, why? Like, what happened? She was like, I asked someone to take a picture for us, and the person said, I don't take pictures for people, and kept walking in the club. And I'm like, that's such an LA moment. Like, oh no, I don't take pictures for you.
Yeah, that
like,
doesn't even seem.
And she's like, no, I don't want to take a picture with you. I don't even know who you are. Like, take a picture for us of our girls. And they're like, no, I don't do that.
Yeah.
And like, that's such an LA moment. Like,
yeah, that doesn't even seem like odd to me.
Right, but I'm like,
I've been here too long.
Those people aren't LA. Like, that's not LA. LA is a very laid back lifestyle.
I will say you're right. I feel like I always kind of thought the same thing. Like, I thought LA people, if people that move here are kind of messed up, people who are from here must be really messed up. But it's actually the opposite. And everyone that I have a close relationship with, D and all those guys that are from here, are the most normal ones. You're right.
Right.
I think you're just used to this shit.
Yeah, it sounds like we're like sponsored by the Travel Commission of Los Angeles. This episode.
Can we get a free like Airbnb or something out of this?
Something. I mean, damn, right?
Okay, so that's a perfect place to actually segue, because what I always do on here is I go straight to the beginning, to childhood. So you're from here?
Yeah, I'm born and raised in Los Angeles.
What part?
I grew up in a city called Eagle Rock.
Yep.
Which is now very hipsterville. It wasn't like that when I was growing up there.
What was it like?
Eagle Rock's right outside of Hollywood. I mean, maybe like 15-minute drive.
Yep.
So, but it's still a different world. It's the more of the east side of LA.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, normal, I guess I could say middle to lower class community right there, where, it's everyone on this block was skateboarding together, biking together. It was a safe area, it wasn't anything crazy, or I didn't grow up in the hood or anything like that.
That's good. Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have a older brother and 2 older sisters.
Oh, damn.
So I'm the youngest of 4 in a Mexican household, and I don't speak Spanish.
Why not? Like, your parents didn't speak Spanish to you guys?
Yeah, no, they didn't. My dad is straight up born in Mexico, is the typical, like, moved out of Mexico at 14, I think, and went to East LA, and then from East
Yep.
LA to Glassell Park to Eagle Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom is born in Chinatown, like in LA, like in Hollywood area, like Chinatown, and straight. Both their parents, first language Spanish. They both only spoke Spanish growing up, and then the kids come along, they're like, we want you to be American.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So
I feel like that's always like a thing, almost like all the like Mexico, like even Emilio, like those guys, like their families all speak Spanish to them. But that's interesting.
Yeah, I think for us and the way I grew up in a household of like my parents being proud that we could speak such proper English, you know, because
Yeah.
they had a hard time, or my dad had a hard time. So he's like, we're going to speak English to these kids.
Yeah.
So now on my social media, I make fun of it. I have a segment called Life of No Hablo,
Yeah.
where literally they'll throw a Spanish word at me. Like the other day, someone threw like escaleras, and I was like, oh, that's what Mexicans call escalades, right? When they drive. And they're like, no, it's escalators.
Ah, man,
And
it's
I'm
good.
like,
That was,
so
that
I'm
was
trying
my
to
guess.
learn. Yeah, I'm trying to learn. But no, I don't. And I embrace it. Like it's the new age Mexican American that I say I am.
Yeah.
I'm still Latino to the heart. I still own a pair of Nike Cortez.
Yep. And those
I
are
still,
making a comeback right now. So
yeah,
that's good.
I eat tacos all day. Like,
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah.
I still throw back a michelada if I need to have one. Like,
You have the like accent down at least.
yeah, I
on
can
the
pronounce
words that count.
My
Right?
last name's Aguirre. I can roll my
Yeah,
R's.
see,
Like,
I can't do that. I got super like white voice. Like I can't roll my R's. I don't.
yeah, no,
It's
I.
terrible.
So I grew up in a Mexican household.
What about the like? Did they do a lot of cultural stuff?
No,
Really?
nah, not really. My mom would like cook.
That's interesting.
They're gonna be pissed off when they hear. So, like, we had
That'd
like
be a good like sitcom.
fish sticks, and like my mom would make rice-a-roni, Uncle Ben's rice-a-roni. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, you guys really want to be like
Just
American,
white
don't
as
you?
shit,
I'm like,
yeah.
yeah, whatever the Spanish rice, the Mexican. Like, nah, we'll have a. I was like, I remember my birthday. My mom made like cake, and she made a pineapple upside down cake. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's amazing. So did you sort of integrate that into your life more as you got older, or no?
Everyone I kicked it with, like, I grew up with such a different mix of people, like in LA, where it's like I hung out with like the Mexican kids that were like, everyone could speak Spanish a little bit, and some of them couldn't. And then I hung out with a lot of Asians growing up, like a lot of Filipinos in the city where I'm from, Eagle Rock, and some of them could speak their native language, like of like Tagalog or different dialects. So I was kind of like around different people where it's like, it doesn't really matter whether I could speak another language, but I knew the language, and it's crazy how this all I knew like at an early age. I don't know how I figured it out, but like music connected everybody in some way.
Yeah.
So in my
so
household,
true.
we listen to a lot of music,
What
music.
type of music?
So I have like I said, I have two older sisters and an older brother. So they would be playing, it goes down the line, everything from like Air Supply to Foreigner to Stevie Nicks to Depeche Mode to Morrissey to The Cure to, and then I was the younger one that got into hip hop at an early age, and I was playing hip hop, and I'd get yelled at by my brother like, "Don't listen to that, that's garbage."
Really?
You gotta listen to The Cure and listen to
So you were
Smiths and
alone in that fight.
So I was, I had to like legit like hide when I was listening to KDAY, the old school 1580 AM radio station in LA that would play hip hop.
Yep.
I had to like hide when my brother wasn't around to listen to it.
Man.
Yeah.
What did your parents have like an anti-hip hop thing or not really?
No, they were cool. My dad had like a crazy big record collection of vinyl, and I would like just look through things and like old jazz and like funk and just different stuff he had, and I would listen. I didn't know what I was listening to, but I just liked playing records.
Yeah.
And my dad would take me record shopping, and I remember scratching off parental advisory stickers on NWA records.
So you could just add it
my
to
dad,
the
I'd be
pile.
like, I want this. He's like, okay, cool, get that. Like,
That's so
99-cent bin.
Isn't it funny how you used to like that doesn't exist now?
Nah.
Like you just subscribe to whatever, you get a Spotify account and you have every album. Like I remember that being such an issue when I was a kid trying to get my hands on parental advisory albums. I had to sneak them. I had to switch the album cover. I had to whatever.
Yeah.
And now like literally there's just it doesn't exist anymore.
Doesn't exist. That moment I got the Two Live Crew cassette tape in 6th grade, and I brought it in my Catholic school backpack and whipped it out and showed everyone the asses lined up right there on that
like
As Nasty as They Want to Be album.
Yep.
That is my first moment where I felt fucking cool.
Yeah.
Where I was like, look at this
It's like
shit.
having a gun
Check
in your bag
this.
or something. Like it's like,
It
how
was.
did he get
It was.
that?
It was. It was heavy.
Like you just had
check this ass out.
Yeah. Damn it.
Those
It's
don't
just so
exist.
funny 'cause,
Google
like,
that now. It's just like, all right, cool.
It doesn't exist anymore. Even like I remember like trying to find like I remember we found a stash, which this is really creepy now that I just thought of it. But we found a stash of obviously the neighbor's porn in the woods, because there was kind of woods that connected all the houses in where I'm from, and it was like we found gold.
Yeah.
Right? Like we just had this stash. So of course we moved it to our own stash and we just had this stash of porn. But now literally you just turn on your phone and type in like tits
You're
and
good.
you have it.
I mean, I'm not mad at you if you grew up that way. More power to you. We had to put the work in to find
Yeah,
some
I feel like
tits.
that was like part of the like that was part of the struggle.
Yeah,
Now
Nat
that
Geo
doesn't
didn't do it after a while.
No shit. The blurry
Like,
fucking
this is-
TV.
yeah, right?
Cinemax. Yeah. God damn it. So what about like early, right? When you're growing up, was there any first early interests?
Skate.
Really?
Yeah, I watched Search for Animal Chin at an early young age, and then I was like,
Amazing.
this is my shit. And then down the street from my house, a block away, we had a skate shop that opened up. It was called Hawaiian Action.
Yep.
The owners were from Hawaii, and my boys' parents owned it, and I used to just hang out there all the time. And I got into like the early Powell days of like my idol was Christian Caballero,
Yeah.
and I got the pink deck with the dragon on it, and I
Yeah.
was like really into that world. And then
Steve
and-
Caballero
Steve Caballero
and the Christian Osoy.
Sorry, Christian Azoy and Steve
Yep.
Caballero. Yeah. So
Yep.
this is like late 80s or mid 80s.
Yep.
Mid 80s.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like
Yep.
mid 80s. And yeah, I was into skate heavy, and I knew I was never good though. Like I just like
Never.
I was not really good. I tried and shit. Like I was like too scared of hurting myself at an
Yeah.
early age, and now that
Did other kids in the neighborhood skate and stuff? or
yeah,
no?
everyone, the whole block was skating.
Got
yeah,
it.
the
And
whole
were the
block.
other kids like progressing faster than you or something?
Yeah, everyone was going out and trying to do crazier shit, and I was like, I don't know about this. And then I got into ice hockey. This is very random. No
How the
Mexicans
hell?
play ice hockey. I don't even
Yeah.
think there's a professional player in the NHL. I'm glad I didn't stick with this.
Well, how
But
did
I-
that start?
My neighbor, another kid I hung out with on the block, his uncle was the door guy at the skating rink in Pasadena, California.
Yep.
So then I was like, oh, I like hockey. This is kind of dope. Ice hockey. An LA Mexican kid playing ice
That'd
hockey.
be
This is kind of
sick.
fly.
Yep.
And then I got checked against the wall, like bam, and I was like, oh, I don't know if this is for me
Never
either.
mind.
Like
Yep.
and at the same time when I was like kind of getting into ice hockey, a family friend was a DJ,
Uh-huh.
and I had just been to a family party that I saw a DJ playing records,
Yep.
and I didn't know what it was, and like you said earlier, we didn't know how to Google it. There was no Google, and there was no
Yeah.
way to search anything, but I just knew that at that moment when I saw that DJ playing, everyone in that room was having the best time of their life.
Yeah.
And I was like, probably like 10 years old,
Mhm.
somewhere around there. And I'm like, why is he able to do this, and how is it happening?
Yep.
So that was my click moment where like something went off in me.
It just instantly.
Instantly, I was like, I always say it's like how probably someone saw Jordan play ball or Kobe play ball for the
Yeah.
first time. You're like, I want to do that. Like, how do you do that?
Yep.
So
It's
I had no
amazing.
clue.
And that's like when you talk to like real DJs, because it's beating a dead horse, but obviously there's so many sort of celebrity DJs and all this weird stuff now. But like any real DJs that I know or talk to have a similar moment. Like
Yeah.
they have that moment where they're like, oh my God. Like it's always too, it seems like that this person is able to make everyone feel good, you know, and sort of control the
Right.
mood, and everyone loves what they're doing. You know what I mean? It's
It's
always
a-
like,
It's a real like it's almost like if you look at it like a tribal like ritual
Yeah.
moment, like how is that energy in that room?
Yep.
You feel if you go to a nightclub, a festival, or anything, it's like it's that moment you're able to just get out of your body and be like one with like whether it's 50 people in a club to 50,000 people at a festival.
Yeah. And the ability to read that is a
Yeah.
art form. You know what I mean? Because I've been before, even with you guys at places, you or Eric or whatever, where I'm like, man, I don't know what I would do here. I try to in my mind,
What would I
try
play? What would I drop?
because I know the game, so I'll try to watch, and then I'll be like, okay, what would I play right now? And I'm like, I have no idea, and
Right.
like I'll get nervous, and then
Yeah.
you guys choose something, and it's like, ah, shit, and
Last
everyone
minute,
goes
like,
crazy.
bam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got really I got lucky at the moment right there that I saw something that I really connected with, and I also had a family friend that I went to his house with my parents, and I was like, that's what it was. Yo, what is this? And he
Yeah.
goes, oh, I DJ. And I'm like, how do you do this? And he was like, oh, I'll teach you. So he was older than me and a couple years older than me, and I got to hang out at his house a lot. And I just told my parents, like, let me hang out here, let me kick it here, let me just be around this. And this is in 8th grade. I was in 8th grade. So it was 1992.
Was he like scratching and stuff, or what type of record?
Yeah, he was just like, it was all hip hop. He was
Got it.
blending hip hop and like mixing records back and forth. And I was just like, I was mind blown. And I just kind of stuck around him, and I started learning the ropes. And right when I hit like 12 years old or like something like that, he said, I'm going to get you your turntables and mixer.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be a shitty setup, but I'm going to get it for you, and you have to work for me to pay this back.
Uh-huh.
So you have to go to every gig, you have to set up lights, you have to set up speakers, you have to carry the crates, you have to do everything to pay it back. And I'm like, oh, that's all good. Let's do this. Like, it's cool. Like, I'm in.
Why do you think he did that? Just because he cared about you, or he saw your passion for it?
I think it was both. I mean, our parents were very good friends, and it was also at that time like, oh, someone else is into this, like I'm into this.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like a big DJ community all over the place.
Yep.
You know, so it was like, and it's like I have an assistant now that can carry, that can
That's
do all the
true.
grunt work,
That's
that can
true.
carry
It's like three
speakers
birds
and
with one
everything.
stone.
Yeah. So it was a blessing at that moment that I got handed those turntables. Was like it started off, you know, the passion that I had for that.
And did it kind of like not even waver? Like the moment you started learning and started figuring out what it was just you just wanted to learn more and more and more and keep building?
Yeah, and any way I could, because there was just no way to learn anything at that time.
Yep.
You would have to like record a music video on MTV and try, and they weren't really even DJing in the music
Yeah,
video. You'd
you're
start to
right.
see, all right, what are they doing? Or then the movie Juice comes out and you're like, all right, let me watch the movie Juice and see how they're trying to DJ. Like anything that had any type of DJ element to it,
Yeah.
I was trying to watch it. Yeah.
It's so crazy. That makes me feel so old because that's really how shit used to be.
Yeah, it
But
was.
it feels like that was like, 10 years ago it was like that.
Right.
Like you just couldn't. That's so weird to
But-
think about. Because now if you literally like, if you order turntables and you YouTube how to DJ and you can sit there for a week straight
You're
and
good.
watch tutorials.
Yeah, you'll be up on game. You know how to rock it. But the good thing about it then is that you really had to be creative. You really had to just think out of the box
Yeah.
because you had to come up with your own style
Mm-hmm.
and not emulate somebody else's. You couldn't, because it was only, you get to hear other DJs play at a party, but that's about it.
Yep. So did you find yourself too, like as early as you could, going to anywhere where a DJ was?
Yeah.
Parties and stuff like that?
Yeah. So 8th grade, I got my setup. I remember going to my 8th grade like graduation dance with a stack of vinyl to like bring to the DJ to be like, I didn't really couldn't DJ a party yet, but I was like, I'm gonna bring him these because then maybe he'll play these. So I was like, and I could hang out with him.
Yep.
Like I could be next to him and be like, I had like 8 records I walked in with, like, boom, here you go. So I was around it as much as I could and trying to soak in as much game as I could, not knowing what I was doing. I didn't know, I'm gonna go and do this and that, and I had no game plan.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be around it
Yep.
in any way I could.
And when you took him the vinyl, did he let you stay and hang out?
Yeah, I stood right by his side and
That's
I kicked it
amazing.
right there. I remember that moment. I was like, hell yeah. It was like a VIP pass, but not knowing I got a VIP pass.
Yeah,
into
you're in the DJ booth. Yeah.
The only table, I always say, is the only table you can't buy in a club is the DJ booth.
That's so true.
You could spend all the money you want in nightclubs, but
That's why
it's the
people
only
love
table
it,
you
huh?
can't buy. Yeah,
Girls
that's why they love it.
Yeah, you're right. Because that's, if you think about it, like that is sort of a testament to how much people want to be around the source of the energy.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's always the girls in the DJ booth, the homies.
Right.
Like everyone wants to be around the guy who's in control of the party.
Yeah.
You know? So then, where did you have your stuff set up? Like in your basement?
My garage, I had everything like in my parents' garage, where it was just like, I had a little setup in there, and I had like one speaker, and it was all about just getting. I would take my sister's records,
Yep.
my brother's vinyl,
Because
and
you
that's
ruin them, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Like
So,
how many times do you get of playing them before they're done?
I mean, it was more I would ruin them because I would like slide the needle across and scratch them and mess them up. But I mean, they'll play forever. Like, I mean, but it's more if you just.
But I mean,
don't-
if you're scratching and you're okay, let's just say you're actually DJing how you DJ today,
Yeah,
but we did it with vinyl. Doesn't it have a short shelf life?
not too short.
Okay.
It'll last. Like unless you're really digging in and
okay.
cutting and doubles and back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah, vinyl will last. But I'm grabbing my sister's records, my brother's records. I'm going to thrift stores and buying 99-cent records and anything I could buy, and I think that's what opened my world up to being like learning how to DJ with any type of format of music.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't just buying hip hop, and I liked listening to like Depeche Mode and stuff that my sisters listened to because I thought, oh, that's cool, or like even like 80s freestyle stuff they listened to. So I was all over the place. And then to try and make money with it so I could buy more records, not to make
Yeah.
money to put in my pocket, but to buy more equipment, it was play anywhere I could, any
Yep.
gig I could get.
Did you drive your parents nuts or no? From just like playing music in the garage?
Yeah. I drove my neighbors nuts because I was like blaring like one speaker that was like distorted and everything. Like
Yeah.
they would yell at me.
Yep.
And then my mom was always like support, and my dad was like, well, what else are you gonna do? Like, 'cause that's not a profession at that stage in the game.
Yeah.
Like, I was starting high school, like devoting all my time to this.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
And what do you do at that age? So what, you're 15-ish?
Yeah, freshman. What, you're like 15?
Yeah. So how do you like? What type of parties were you doing or gigs were you getting?
So freshman year of high school, I started doing high school dances.
Mhm.
And I was like, this is perfect. I'm a freshman in high school. I can try and get high school dances and they'll know I relate to the audience. So me and my boy that taught me how to DJ, we were doing high school dances like almost every weekend.
Mhm.
We would, and then I got all my friends to come because they wanted to go to the high school dance at different schools all over LA, and they were carrying crates and they were putting in the work that I used to have to put in.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wasn't good at the high school dances in freshman year and sophomore year. I was trying to just play records and learn as I went along. But high school dances, weddings, bar mitzvahs, quinceañeras. There
you go.
is.
There you go.
Quinceañeras.
So you were just going to everyone and anyone and saying,
dude.
hey, I'll DJ your thing.
Yeah, and then I got a lot of weddings. I was DJing a lot of weddings. And
At that age?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Those were the hardest gigs to this day. Weddings are the hardest gig anyone can ever play.
Why?
It's the most random group of people from old to young to middle aged, and everyone's emotional, and you got to play like swing music for the elderlies and salsa because someone wants a cha-cha dance, and then the kids are pissed because they want to hear hip hop.
Yeah.
And then the older people, the middle age, are like, yo, we want to hear some old school shit. Like, and you're like, and everyone's yelling at you. Everyone's coming up to you and saying, change the music, change this. And they're wasted. Yeah, it's just, there's so much work.
I just remember, like, did you ever have like an early, like, just complete tank?
DJing, yeah. The first time I got to DJ that I was put on by my boy that was teaching me, DJ Splice. Shout out to DJ Splice. It was Splice and Vice.
Oh man, that's
so
good.
So old school, huh?
That's
like,
so good.
Yo, what's your name? Is Spice? Okay, I'll be Vice. Yeah, he put me on at a high school.
Is that how you came? Sorry, I'm sorry. Is that how you came up with it?
Well, his name was Splice, and I grabbed a dictionary, and I literally opened a dictionary, a Webster dictionary, and flipped around, and I saw Vice, and it said bad habit.
Yeah.
And I was like, or a wicked habit or something like that. That's a tight DJ
good,
name. I was like,
a good name.
Vice. And I was like, and I went to him, I'm like, yo, what if I'm Vice? And he's like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Splice and Vice. When we put on the flyer, it'll look good. Like, all right, cool. I'll stick with that.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So back to the bombing story.
So Vice, since I got the name Vice in '92. That's when I got my DJ.
Was that your
name.
first? Did you have a first name that was really shitty?
No, I
Okay,
never
good,
did. No,
good.
no. I pride myself on that.
Yeah, a
I've
lot
been
of people
Vice
I
since
feel like,
day
they're like,
one.
I used to be DJ Boogie Face.
Yeah, no, my homies was Spinocchio, and I'm like, oh, it's terrible.
That's so good.
Spinocchio. So my tank story where I crashed and burned was I got up to DJ at this dance.
Mm-hmm.
He threw the headphones on me. He was like, I'm gonna go dance with this girl you're on, and I was like shook, like, oh shit, I've never really played for this crowd. And it's like 300 kids at a school dance.
Yep.
And I stood up there, got the next record on deck, and lined it up to match it, and just kept matching it in my headphones, bringing it back, and not realizing the other record had already ended because I was so out of my head. It was like, and you know, the needle hits the very end, and I froze, and it's like 300 kids looking at you, and I'm like the same age as them, and they're looking at me like, and they just start booing, and everyone's like, boo, like, and I'm like, I just straight duck underneath the DJ booth, and I'm like hiding down there, right? Like, what do I do? What do I do? And I was froze, and there's probably like, and you know, in a club, if there's no music, a club or a dance, or whatever, there's no music for like 30 seconds or 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like,
oh, it's
death.
the worst thing ever.
It's like the worst.
Yeah.
So I'm hiding down there. I reach up with one arm, like trying to reach around for the record. I get the needle and I start the song over again, and like the music goes back on, but it's the same song. And my boy runs up, he's like, what are you doing? Yeah. And he's like, get off. And he takes the headphones and he gets on and he starts playing again. And I was like, oh.
And then was that it for the night?
I didn't get back on. I was like so bummed.
It's the worst feeling ever.
Yeah, ever. Ever.
I've said it a couple times on this podcast, so I'll keep it short. But I one time tried. I thought I could become a DJ.
DJ Drama?
DJ Drama, yep, already taken. Like like 6 years ago, and or maybe 8, and I tried to learn, figure out how to beat match, all this different stuff. I went up one time at like a bar. I was with my boy, you know, DJ Cheap Shot.
Yeah,
I was with Cheap Shot, and he was like, all right, well, go ahead. You can just do 20 minutes or whatever. And it was the most nerve-wracking at like some dive bar in Silver Lake or something.
Yeah.
Like there was probably 15 people there, and it was like, there's no
sweaty
way.
palms, everything. You didn't know where to.
The song is ending, and you're like, oh shit, and you're trying to get that, and then you miss the starting point on the next one. It's terrible.
You need those moments though.
Yeah, no shit.
Yes, sir.
I don't. That's why I quit. That was my first and last DJ gig. So then you're playing all these things. What do you do next? Like, what's the next progression from like doing weddings and doing all this stuff, taking whatever money you can get? You're just buying a shitload of records, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm just every dollar I made, I reinvested it back into buying vinyl or buying a new turntable or buying any more equipment I could buy to get bigger.
Was that pretty much like high school for you?
All of high school.
Yep.
I ditched so much, and I would just go practice at either my friend's house, or I couldn't ditch at my house because my parents were both at home. They were retired already in their home. But I would go and try and practice, or I listen to music.
Yep.
I used to run a Walkman with the little one earbud through my sleeve into my palm, and I would put my hand over my ear and listen to my mixes that I recorded.
Yeah.
So school, I was really bad, but the progression out of there was to figure out how to continually make more money and be around this DJ scene so I could fund my passion.
Yeah.
And the next thing was making mixtapes throughout high school. I made mixtapes and sold those.
At school?
At school, yeah. So I would record a mix.
Uh-huh.
It was terrible too. And there's still some floating around. And I record the mix. I'd write down all the songs. I'd print it out in print shop class and make a sheet, laminate it, and walk around and show people like, yo, this tape has all these songs on it. And everyone would be like, that's dope. How much? I'd be like, $8. And they'd be like, all right, cool. And I made the tape for $1. So the copies, so I would sell them for $8 and make that $7 profit.
It's a great business.
And buy more records, yeah.
And what did you, like, pardon my ignorance on this one, but those old mixes, was it just essentially you taking, let's say, 12 really hot songs and then just sort of beat matching them in and out?
Yeah. I mean, try to beat match. It was like, there's sketchy mixes at the time, but I would just mix them in and out. I wouldn't even talk on them or anything, but it was just like.
Got it. So nothing too in depth. It was just essentially, here's my playlist.
Just a compilation mix, but it was selling. So I was, and then at high school dances, I would sell them too. And I would just kind of use that money to, that was the first time I made money, like where I was like, this is dope. Like I wasn't actually working. You know what I mean? Like at the DJ gigs, I'm working, making money and using it back to the gig, to more records. But this is, I was walking around school and I would have like, I'd walk out of school with like $100 in high school in my pocket. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Did you start to build any like juice, like where people like DJ Vice?
Yeah, like I would DJ in the quad, like in the high school quad, like at lunchtime.
Yeah.
And I DJ'd a lot of the football games and the basketball games, all for free, just to be out there.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like rocking one time in the middle of the quad, and then out of nowhere a soda comes flying, and like one of the jocks was like, "Fuck this guy," I guess, and threw a soda, and it like landed right on me and all over the turntables and everything. So I was like, "Yeah, this is not cool right now."
Damn.
Those embarrassing high school moments.
Yeah, no shit. That sounded like a TV scene.
Yeah, I hope that dude's listening to this podcast.
Yeah,
too.
hey dude, fuck you.
Hey jock, fuck you.
Fuck you. So then you're building it up, and where's it? Let me ask you this: what was your parents' reaction? Like, let's just say you're a junior in high school.
Yeah.
It's obvious that this is where all your time's going. Were your parents, did they give in, or were they like tripping out on you?
No, my mom was still like cool because I would be out already these nights.
Yep.
I started junior year, towards the end of high school, I started going to clubs. And I was underage going to like clubs to DJ.
Did you get a fake ID or you just?
I used my brother's ID, yeah.
Nice.
I used my brother's fake ID. Or I would like be with the DJ or be with someone. I would try and figure someone out how to get in.
Yep. Did you go to clubs like here?
I was really going to a lot of clubs like in South Bay area, like Long Beach, San Pedro, Cerritos. I would go to a lot of those. I didn't go to Hollywood clubs at all.
Got it.
And I was like a lot of the hip hop clubs out that way that I was going to. Yeah. And my mom would stay up late after my dad went to bed to like let me in the house so he wouldn't really know what time I got home. So my mom had my back like at an early age.
Your mom did have your back.
Yeah, my dad would be pissed off. Like you were out at a club. And now that I look at it, like I was junior year, I'd be like out in Long Beach at like 2 in the morning. Like
I can't imagine.
I wasn't partying. I wasn't drinking. I would just literally like by the DJ booth.
Yeah.
Like watching, or I would be DJing.
Can you imagine your kid doing that?
It's
imagine
crazy.
what like a 16-year-old looks like. And like being like, go ahead, go to Long Beach.
Yeah, go
I'd
out.
be like, holy shit.
Yeah, go out to the party and kick it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so I was in the nightlife world all the way up till like senior year, but I always had a passion for listening to the radio because I listened to mixes on the radio. That's the other place I could hear all the mixes.
Yep.
So Power 106 was a station that I really grew up listening to.
Yep.
After KDAY closed down in LA. and I listened to mixes. So I really had a passion, and I started having a dream in high school of like, I want to be on the radio. I want to mix on the radio. I want to be around a radio station.
Got it. And in general, did your dad, was he pressing you to get into something legit, or did he?
Yeah, they were just like, he had no advice of you need to get into like medical. He had no advice. It's just like, you need to do something else. Like this is all you're doing.
Yeah, got it.
I was giving it 110%. Like I didn't have anything else that I was into.
Yep.
Zero. Like I wasn't the kid, like skate was gone, hockey was gone. Like I wasn't trying to watch TV and just BS on the couch. I was like really into this.
Yeah.
Really into this.
Did you go to college?
I did not. I did.
So
I barely made it out
like,
of high school.
Did you know like high school's over, like no chance, I'm ready to go?
You know it's bad when you're in like senior year and your counselor tells you like you're not going to graduate until you take night school. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, take this class and this class because the answers are in the back of the book. He told me that. That was my high school counselor. He's like, the answers are in the back of the book. And if you pass those two, you'll get out of here. And I was like, okay, cool.
That's good though. God bless him.
Yeah. I don't know even how I got out of high school. I don't know. 'Cause I was just so focused.
Yeah.
I was so focused in what I love to do.
So then what happens? You're out of high school. You know you're not going to college. Now it's real time. What do you do?
So right towards the end of high school, I meet the Baker Boys, who are like the legendary radio show hosts on Power 106 at the time.
Yep.
I meet their brother who runs a promotional company.
Okay.
Randomly in a club.
Uh-huh.
And at that moment already, I'm like, I found the door. I found the door to the radio station.
Yep.
This is the biggest guys on radio in LA. This is their brother who runs their promotion company.
Yep.
And I told him, I was like, yo, like anything I can do for you, I'm down. Any work you need me to do, any street team stuff, like whatever you need me to do, blah, blah, blah. I'm in, I'm down, I'm here. Let's do like whatever.
Yeah.
Drive your car, whatever. Like I'm in. And he took my number down. So he reached out to me and right out of like high school, I started right before I was in end high school, I started working with him and helping him do street team work, passing out flyers, passing out tapes.
Yeah.
And I met the Baker Boys who were on the radio at the time, and I got to go up to the radio station with them. So I was in that world at senior year of high school.
And how did that go down? Were they like, how did you met them and they were like, hey, you want to come by and check it out, see what it's like?
Yeah, when I was up there, I went to them and I'm like, yo, I'm a DJ, this and that. Here's my mixtape.
Yeah.
Like I started giving mixtapes to them, and he told me too. He's like, yeah, give him mixtapes, let him listen to it, let him give you feedback.
Yeah.
And I probably gave him 40, 50, 60 cassette tapes, always just hitting him with cassettes. And I would leave them around the station when I would stop by there.
Yeah.
So if I wasn't giving to them, I would like
You're
drop
smart.
them in like on desks that I didn't even know, and just like kind of sneak attack my way in.
Yep.
Because I wanted someone to listen to them. Because I knew this is my humble brag moment. I knew I was good enough to be on radio.
Yeah.
I knew I had it because I listened to everyone,
Yep.
and I analyzed everyone's style and skills, and I was like, I can do that. I know I can do that.
Do you think you had like a gift, or like, would you say you have a gift for it, or you just love it so much that you practice your ass off?
Yeah, I put the work in.
Yeah,
for
you
it.
don't feel like you have a natural talent.
Because everyone's like, well, who did everyone play instruments in your house? There's no musical background in my house. My brother did play like in a band and guitar and stuff, but I didn't learn anything from him. I didn't learn keys or strings or anything but I just put in so many hours that something was going to suffer, and it was school that suffered.
Yep.
But I put the hours towards my passion.
Yep. So then what, did they finally break through and say, hey, Vice, you want to come up here and mop the floors, or what happened?
Yeah, I was around, and it was them as well as another radio host called the Crazy Kids at the time. They all started having my back a little bit.
Yep.
And out of nowhere, I got a call from the program director of the radio station, and she's like, hey, we heard your tape. We want you to come in tomorrow for a 30-minute mix on the radio. Mm-hmm. And I was like, damn,
like, I made it.
Here's the call of my life. Like, this is the moment.
Called up to the majors.
So I had just got out of high school. So this is like 90, I graduated in 96, and this call came in like 1997.
Wow.
So I got the call to come in, and that was the moment where it's like you're stepping into the big leagues of like being a DJ.
Were you nervous?
Hell yeah! I showed up like an hour and a half early to the gig to the radio station. They're like, "What are you doing? You're not enough." I was like, "Can I just stand in the room and feel it out and feel it out?" And at the moment, and I do my first 30-minute mix, and I get the job of being a power mixer.
Really?
And at the same moment, I found out I'm having a kid.
Holy shit. Okay. Well, how the fuck?
So
Okay.
like,
Okay. First question is this. When you're doing, this is going to be a stupid question, but when you do those mixes, like, are you live on the
yeah, we
radio?
were 100% live.
Okay. So it's kind of like mixing, like DJing a party, except for you're DJing live for everyone on
Yeah,
the radio.
but at the party, like you talked about earlier, you're in a DJ booth. There's energy. Everyone's feeling it. You know
Yeah.
where to go with the music. Now you're thrown into a box,
In a quiet room.
and you're by yourself in this little mix room, and there's a dude on the other side of the glass, double pane glass, with a microphone, like we look like, just standing here, and he's just kicking it. You know.
And
So now
yeah.
you're that one. There's one dude over there, and you in this room, and there's at the time Power had like 1.6 million listeners.
Yep.
So you're DJing now for all these people across,
Man, that's
Los
a shit
Angeles.
ton. What do they have now, do you think?
and I don't know.
Like, if you had to guess,
yeah.
is it like a couple 100,000? Like, has it
No,
dropped?
it's probably still in the same range, but now there's so many other stations. Like it was
Yeah.
only Kiss and Power, but they were so different.
Yeah,
but now
yeah.
music's so.
But now I just feel like everyone's
intertwined.
on Spotify and stuff. I just wonder how much radio has taken a
I
hit.
think it was so
complete-
much bigger then. I
Yeah.
do. I think it was so much bigger then. Yeah.
So you're kind of nervous, but like you're not even getting any feedback.
Yeah.
That'd
Yeah.
be
You don't
weird.
know if you're killing it.
So then
don't
you
know-
just go to the program directors who said, "Good job, you got a gig."
Yeah. The next day they were like, yeah, we could use you on this shift and this shift. We'll try you out again in here. It was kind of just like they kept trying me out,
Yeah.
not knowing like I was in, but I was in.
Why do you think that is? Do you think that it was because you were that good, or because you were persistent, or because they liked being around you? Like,
I think it was they could see the passion that I had for it. They
Yeah.
knew that I came in like prepared. I killed it. She didn't even see me that I was there, but they knew like this
Yeah.
kid was hungry for it.
Yeah.
This kid wanted
like
it.
we've been finding his mixtapes for 6
All over the
months now.
place.
Yeah.
We've seen him back and forth up in the station. And I was just the kid running around the station trying to be around the mix, and they kind of knew like he's putting in the work to get to this
Yeah.
station. So
Where'd
I
the
loved
baby
it.
come from?
So then during this time, I my senior year, when I lose my virginity in senior year,
Yeah.
Late bloomer for some of us,
Same.
senior
Me
year,
too.
same
Yep.
here, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. My first girlfriend, I had a girlfriend before that. She didn't give it up though.
Wow.
She's hooked up with my friend.
Mine was like
right after
literally
me.
like a sort of. You said she hooked up with your friend right after you?
Yeah, she went
worst
she was like,
case.
yo, for like 8 months, and then they're like, no, like she's Christian
what
girl,
a
and I'm like, okay,
joke.
cool, it's all good. And then like we break up, and like a month later, one of my best friends in my circle was like, yo, I'm with her now, and I'm like, and everyone's like, yeah, he hooked up. I'm like,
Ah,
oh,
God
come on.
damn it! Of course.
Nah,
Yeah,
but
no,
it's-
mine wasn't even girlfriend. It was just like a relatively promiscuous young lady, and I was just sick of being a virgin. So I'm like, hey, like, you want to
All right, hook
hit
this
the
up.
back of the shopping plaza here and go in the back of the car and get this over with? So yeah, that's how my beautiful.
Oh yeah, mine is my senior year girlfriend that I met in nightlife too at a club.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're right out of high school. I'm 19 when I find out that I'm about to have a son.
And were you like, not don't want to say devastated, but were you
Shook.
like, what the hell is
I was
going on?
shook. Yeah, because I had just got on the radio. Like I had just got on the radio.
Yep.
So it's like one thing is like, oh shit, I'm moving on in my life, and one thing's like, oh shit, you gotta figure your life out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was a awakening moment to be like, yeah, 19 years old, like
That's
you're
it.
not
I
ready
can't
for that
imagine.
shit.
Once again, you put a 19-year-old in front of us right now, and
Yeah.
they look like an infant.
right, yeah.
What was your honest feeling? Would you say like this is all over, or was it just like, man, I got to work twice as hard now?
You know yeah, I was automatically like, it's time now. It gave me a reason behind my work.
Yeah.
Because it was just me. Like, how am I going to get this for me, and how am I going to work this out? So now it's like, okay, cool. You have that now. You got what you wanted to be on radio.
Yeah.
Now take care of this over
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Yeah. And I have this weird thing that I feel like now that I'm a new father again. I have a daughter now. Like, but I feel like I was meant to be a dad at
Yeah.
the same time. Like
Yeah.
now that I look back, I was like, oh, like I was meant to do this.
Yeah.
Like,
You're pretty daddish.
I'm very,
Like, you're
yeah,
a good
I'm very,
dude. And
very
you're very
daddish.
like, yeah.
I like kicking it with my son. I like playing with them. I like teaching him how to ride a bike. I like
Yeah.
skateboarding with them. I like and I know it happened for a reason, and I know the reason was to keep me in check. Like my
Yeah.
life was about to go like
Yeah, you're right.
crazy nightlife world,
Yep.
and I needed grounding.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing. Do you have 2 kids?
Right now I have a son who is turning 19 next month,
Yeah.
and I have a daughter who's 21 months.
Oh man, how cool.
Night and day.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Night and day.
So then, man, so you have the kid. When you have the kid, are you excited? Are you still with your girl?
Yeah, I'm still with my girl. Yeah.
And
I'm beyond excited. I'm beyond excited because it's like I'm excited, I'm scared, I'm focused, I'm not. I'm like all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm kind of all over the place. And
what's happening at radio?
And radio, I'm starting to get like a gig now. Like I have a once a week 30-minute show, and then I land a daily show on the radio Monday through Friday at noon. I did the lunchtime mix, and I'm like, this is crazy. Everything's going, but then me and my girl are not really doing good because we're kids still. We're trying to figure out how to have a relationship. I'm trying to figure out how to hustle. I'm trying to figure out how to raise a son.
Yeah.
And everything's going crazy. And another breakthrough moment is my boy goes, I want to take you to something, and you don't have to pay me unless you get anything out of it. And he took me to Tony Robbins.
Really?
At 19.
Fuck, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I was like, who the fuck is Tony Robbins, right? He's like, it's in Anaheim, And I'm 19. I'm like, what is this? He's like, he's an older friend of mine. And he's like, I just think this would be good for you. Like, you should go with me. Like, I've been to this. And he's like, I think you'll get something out of it. And I was like, cool, I'll try it. And he goes, I'll pay for it. If you don't get anything out of it, don't pay me back.
And how much were those things then?
I was probably at least almost a G then, right?
I think so, right?
Yeah, this is, yeah.
It's at Anaheim, what, like
at the Anaheim Convention Center.
Yeah.
And it's like a couple thousand people there. And I'm like, this is crazy. And I'm like walking on hot coal the first night. And I'm like,
you did that too? Kevion did that.
Yeah, I heard Kevion did that. And that's crazy because Kevion, I talked to him later about it. I'm like, we might have been at the same one.
You might have, because he was around the same time.
Yeah. And looking back at it now, it's like, what a moment, or what an amazing thing for someone to do for you.
Yeah.
That is not something like guys usually be like, hey, bro, let me take you to this. Let me help you out with something in your life. Because he was about 5 years older than me. Yeah. And I think he just saw the confusion of me like starting to succeed, but starting to be like, what the fuck am I doing over here with holding a kid when I'm still a kid, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You have it seems like a few people have done that for you, but I would say like it's not surprising to me because of the way you are. I mean, you're just such a good dude, and like you just come off as a very, I don't know. It's not surprising to me knowing you, but
thank you.
Like there has been a few people that have really like looked out and been like, hey man, just come do this.
Right.
You know, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Only because I'm curious for my own sake, what goes down at a Tony Robbins thing like that, at least then?
Yeah. So I sat there. I mean, people must have been looking at me like, who's this kid on our in our chairs right here? Like, because it was really like an older group that was there at the time, because younger kids weren't looking for this kind of like follow your passion or how to succeed or how to be successful at 19. You know, it was a lot of like middle-aged business people in there. And I sat in groups, and like they break you off into groups, and you have a workbook, and you're like writing down your goals. But I'm like, I don't really know I just want to DJ parties, and I want to be on the right,
survive. Is that?
But I'm trying to dig this out of me and dig it out of me, and I'm then I started talking to other people who have kids, and they're explaining things to me, and I'm like bawling, crying, and I'm like going through every emotional state for 3 days that I could go through. And I walked out of there like changed, like, you know, like I have purpose. Like I have a son to raise first and foremost.
Yeah.
And I have already found my passion of what I love to do in life.
Yeah.
So at 19, 20 years old, to know that is like, that's hitting the lotto.
Yeah.
That's like,
you 100% no question feel like that changed you or affected you?
Yeah. Not knowing then, but looking back at it now, I feel that those moments of being around other individuals that want to succeed and want you to succeed is the moment that I wish I could always like give to my son or my daughter, or to tell other people to surround yourself with that. I didn't know that was happening, but it was like, it definitely changed me. I was on a different passion. Everyone told me like, yo, you came back pumped up. You had your workbook thing, like showing everybody.
So funny.
But I mean, it doesn't last forever. You got to exercise that and keep it up.
Well, luckily, your
Yeah.
wife is now the new female Tony Robbins.
Yeah. Then I marry a life coach. Yeah,
Did
it's
she?
crazy.
So for the listener, he just told me right before we started that his wife just became a life coach, or not just became, has been one for 6 years.
Yeah.
But I guess the question is like, does she try to like work on you, or do you guys keep that out of the house?
No, we definitely we work on each other because we're the yin and yang.
Yeah.
I'm the go. How try everything. Like you can succeed at this or this, but if you put in the work, and she's more at an ease and like appreciate the moment. Appreciate where you're at right now.
Yeah.
Like don't think 10 steps ahead.
Yep.
How about the fact that you're holding your daughter right now who's healthy? Or how about the fact that your son is in an amazing college and he's doing good in that? And like, so I learned how to bring myself down and be like, okay, cool. I get this moment.
To find a life coach to date.
Kevion,
I know I have Kevion. And literally when I first talked to Kevion, because I was telling Kevion, like I've always been I've been half and half in sort of believing in all that stuff. And I read a lot of self-help books and I like that stuff just because it gets me pumped up. But, and also being a little bit of a hater, to be honest, and being a little bit of like, come on, like can you really, I'll watch the Tony Robbins shit. And I'm like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But literally after having 2 phone calls with Kevion on his life coach thing, I was like, damn, this is good. Like this really works. Because it's just about like carving out clear goals and where you're most effective. And, like it's not.
I'm still a hater like you on that though, too.
Yeah.
Because I still do believe in like you have to be open to accept what the universe is bringing you. Yeah. But you still need to put work into it for it to
1,000,000%.
come.
I hate like The Secret.
Okay.
Like when you watch The Secret, have you watched that?
I
What, you love it?
My next humble brag, I feel like I am the secret. Because I do stupid shit like I'm going to be late for a flight.
Yep.
And I'm like, it'll be delayed, watch.
Yes.
And shit'll happen.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yes, 100%. So I believe that, right? I believe that. I believe that you put positive energy out into the world and things will work out your way. I 1,000,000% believe that. What I don't like is when on like The Secret, it goes into like, oh, I made a dream board with my dream house on it. And 6 years later, I dug it out of the storage and I was living in that exact house.
You want me to be another asshole right now?
You did it, didn't you?
I did a vision board years ago.
And you live in the house?
My wife did it. No, I was going through it.
I'm fine with a vision board.
Okay,
vision boards are great.
Yeah, vision board.
No. I just don't like there's literally a scene.
But the pool is the exact pool I'm about to move into.
What do you mean?
The pool that
you
put on my dream vision board. And I didn't realize it's back then. I looked and I was like, oh shit, this is the same exact pool.
Yes. Okay. I'm with
not
it.
the Kanye pool,
I'm
but it's
still
just a
with you.
pool.
I'm still with you. What I'm saying is you've put in the work.
Okay.
You're a smart guy. You've worked hard. You clarified your goals. And you're also very positive. So a lot of positive shit comes to you. You're hitting very close to your goals or sometimes almost directly with the pool shape. That's 100% normal. That's good.
Right.
It's only when it gets into the weird magical shit that I get like, okay,
this
enough,
is too left
right?
field.
Like, like I said, The Secret is literally, they try to claim in the movie that this guy had a photo of a house, his dream house, on a vision board. Went on with his life, forgot about it, and X amount of years later, he pulled the vision board out of storage, and it was the house that he was currently living in. Right?
Chill, fam.
Just a little too like, all right, calm it down.
Yeah.
But my point was, so I'm a little bit of like a negative Nancy. I was when it comes to that stuff, but literally even after doing like this 1 week of this shit with Kevion, I'm like, man, I get it. Like I understand just the power of like carving out what your goals are.
Right.
And like where you're most effective and sort of getting through all the noise in your brain,
Yeah, definitely. And I think not only like what your goals are, also figuring out what you're weak at.
Yeah.
I love figuring out like what I'm weak at.
Yeah.
And being like, who are the people that are strong at that that can help me with this?
Yeah. There's just some sort of like, it's reality. It's like your grip on reality. And I don't know, some people are really bad at it. Some people are really good at it. Some people are too good at it to the point where it makes them negative. It's like, how do you just be as clear as possible on what you're good at, what you're bad at, what you like, what you don't like, and then you just do it.
Yeah.
Right? Like if this is what I like and this is what I don't like and here's how I can get that and here's how I won't get that, then I just do this.
Right.
It seems that easy.
Yeah.
I would still love to go to a Tony Robbins thing to experience it, just to see what it is.
Yeah. I don't think they do the hot coal walking anymore.
Because somebody got fucked up.
I think they got sued or something.
News.
Yeah. We can do that here.
But also, I think now they're like 50 grand or something. Yeah, you should have to walk on hot coal to get to the chair.
To get to the podcast. Like, what the? Walk across that. Go ahead. Then you're on.
Welcome to Short Story Long.
Yeah.
Um, so when you're working on a radio station, you don't get paid very much, right?
So at the time when we started on the air, we got paid $100 an hour to do mix shows.
Oh, yeah, that's
which
great.
is crazy. Like
Yeah.
that was this is where the moment where my dad's like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I came home with a corporate check.
Yep.
So those high school dances and stuff like that wasn't really popping. Like, but I came home with a check from a company that taxes were taken out and everything. And I was like, boom, like check this out. Like, and it's like,
and that was like 19 or 20?
And I was 19.
Yeah.
And my dad stayed up every night recording every mix on cassette tapes in the house.
Really?
So he like completely
flipped that
switched
moment.
to being like, and my dad's like my number one promoter. Yeah, my dad was like big in he's telling the Subway shop guy, like, yo, dude, you got this, that's my son on the radio. Like, he's promoting everywhere. Like, this is my son wearing Power 106 shirts. So it was like, cool, you came home with the check, like, you made it.
Yeah, that's so dope.
Yeah, which helps me in a way because I'm not that type of dad.
Yeah.
I'm the type of dad now where I'm telling my son, like, dude, try whatever you think you want to be into, try it.
Yep.
Because it'll click one day and you'll be like, okay, I'm into this. I got this. And once you have that passion, like, run with it.
Has he found it yet?
No, I think freshman year of college, he's just like finding himself right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just hit me and was like, I wish I knew what I knew right now when I started college a year ago. Like, this is crazy. I'm like, yeah, because you're your own man right now.
Yeah.
It's all up to you. You want to get drunk and be hungover and go to class and hurt in that class?
Yeah.
It's your fault, not mine. I didn't have to wake you up. Like, it's all on you.
Yeah.
You're paying for some of that college, not just me.
Yeah.
And I did that on purpose because I want him to wake up, and if he misses class, he's burning his money too, not mine.
Yeah. No, it's
Mine and his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, that's the way you want to parent, I think. I think it'd be hard to do, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Being the furthest thing away from having kids, but
the furthest.
yeah, I mean, like the least dad person in the world. But I just feel like that's what you want to do, but to actually do it is dope.
It's work. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's work.
So what's next?
Okay, so now I'm on radio. I feel I'm killing it. I'm doing good. And now this is a dope moment where I'm starting to meet a lot of artists. Like I meet Kanye for the first time when he comes to bring us Through the Wire at the radio station. Right? And he's the dude who produced some beats for Jay-Z. Yeah. And I meet him with like a lot of other mixers. And this is the first person that I meet that's out of their fucking mind. Where I'm like, this dude believes in himself so much that it was insane to me. I remember this moment so clear. He came to the station and he's played us Through the Wire and he made us watch the music video, and he's like, and he tells, this at the time DJ Echo's with me, DJ Reflex, all these power guys, and he tells us like, yo, I produce beats for Jay-Z. I remember this thing. He goes, I produce beats for Jay-Z. Jay-Z's dope, but I'm gonna be bigger than that. And we're like, this dude's out of his fucking mind. Jay-Z's like the god right now. He's the king. Like, you make a beat, like you make beats for this guy.
Yeah.
Then we go down the street to eat at Arnie Morton's Steakhouse, and before the bread even comes out, he's rapping song after song, and he's like, do you hear what I'm saying? Like, do you hear the bars that I'm spitting? And we're like, this is crazy.
Holy cow.
This is crazy. So we walk out of that dinner, and I remember being like, okay, look at this from a different angle. Like, try and like figure this dude out. Like, because I had never been around this kind of energy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the dude is just basically envisioning who he's gonna become.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the Tony Robbins shit that I've been to and seeing like he really believes that this is where he's gonna go and this is what's gonna happen. Yeah. So I respected it. Where a lot of the other mixers were like, this guy's fucking arrogant.
Yeah.
He's conceited. And the only dudes that kind of kicked it with them from the station was Reflex, Echo, and myself. And we used to go to his sessions when he was recording his first album.
Yeah.
And we'd sit there and listen to him and and just drop bars. His mom brought food to us one time. We were sitting there eating. And I was in early sessions around like creative artists. That was like a dope moment in my life.
Yeah.
And little did I know, I was just picking up game from them of like how they were envisioning or how they were acting or just anything I could pick up off them.
Yeah. God damn it, that's cool. That is something that I just love. I have such a soft spot for like studio life.
Yeah.
And artists and just the creating not only a song but then an album. Obviously albums meant so much more back then.
Yeah.
But like College Dropout, that was the first album, right?
Yeah.
It was such a massive album. But you didn't know it then.
Didn't know
right?
it,
You had
no.
no idea. And then to now look at like what that exploded into and then into and then into.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I just love watching that go down.
And we got thrown into sessions with the Neptunes in the early days and Timbaland, because they all wanted us around to hear what they were working on and get our advice on radio. Is it, you think this is a dope radio thing? That we're like, I'm sitting there like, yes man at the time, because I was like too scared to tell them like, oh, I'm not really into this or that. I was just like, this is insane. So it was a good era being on the radio and meeting people, meeting Suge Knight and being like, oh shit, this is dope.
Yeah.
But I always remembered I wanted to meet people and make them remember me.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to come at everybody in a different angle that I could. And I don't know why I thought that way. I just did. I was like, I met Suge Knight in the mix room at Power. He came in, he's shaking everyone's hand, and he comes to me. He's like, "What's up, man?" I go, "Hey, what's up? I'm Vice. What's your name?" And I just stood there and looked at him, and he was like,
he punched you in the face.
And literally he just stood, and I gave that uncomfortable like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Then I was like, "I'm just playing, man. What's up, man? Good to meet you." And he's like,
and he laughed.
"You're funny. I get you."
Oh,
It's like,
man,
he
you
was
got
cool. He
balls.
started like, he smirked about it like that. And he was like, "Okay, I get this guy." And I thought that was always, or LL Cool J sitting in our mix room reading, talking about all his music, and he's dropping this, dropping this. I was like, "Yo, man, can I ask you a question?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah." And I'm like, can you give me some diet tips? Because every time you take off you're killing it. And he's like,
what the hell?
He's like, "Okay, cool, hold on." And I swear he gave us this tip, and I run with it. He goes, first of all, whenever you go to dinner and they bring out the bread, don't eat the bread.
Mm-hmm.
Why? He's like, "What are you getting out of that bread? Nothing. It does nothing for you. You're just filling yourself up with carbs that aren't going to give you any nutritional value." And I was like, okay, because I was fat at the time.
Do you still not do that?
I'd never eat
Thanks
the bread.
to LL Cool J?
Unless it's like those thin cheese breads. I don't know. There's like really thin, like cracker cheese breads. I fuck with those.
Yep.
And then he said, when a burger comes out, if you order a burger, never eat the top bread. Take the top bread off and just eat the burger like that. And I go, why? And he goes, cut out half the carbs. He goes, still enjoy your burger, but cut out half the carbs.
Do you do that?
Still do that to this day.
Really?
Yeah.
Who would have thought your LL Cool J diet tips would last so long?
Isn't that great? Like, that's the kind of, I just like doing that shit to people and them remembering. If they're not going to remember me, I'm going to remember something they're going to come with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it was really good times being around the radio station and meeting people like that.
And was that where all your energy was, like growing there, or were you also still doing a lot of club gigs and stuff?
I was doing a lot of radio club gigs that were like the typical radio station club gigs you could think of, like in any city across the U.S. They're just not, they're popping, but not popping like that. And then I'm at one of these radio station gigs, and this girl walks by, and I'm like, God damn, right? And this girl walks by. Now, me and my son's mom are like to the curb at this moment. We're like off and on, off and on. She's gone to the curb.
Yep.
And I see this girl, and I'm like, wow, that girl's hot, right? This out of my league girl hot.
Yep.
So I went up to her in the parking lot, and which I have no game like that. And I try to talk to her, and somehow I got her number. And I'm like, "What do you do?" And she's like, "I'm a model." And I had never met a girl that could claim they're a model at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me like a year of work putting in on her. And she was on like a Neutrogena commercial. And I was like, "Oh my God." And she brings me to a Hollywood club called Garden of Eden.
Yep.
And I walk in, and DJ AM's playing.
Yep.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this world? I had never gone to any Hollywood club.
That's what's so crazy about here, right? Let me just say quickly is living here, like it's all so close.
Yes.
But you just don't do it. You know what I mean? Like you have to break through as if it's like moving to another state.
I wouldn't have even got in though. Even me being on the radio on the biggest station in Los Angeles, if I would have went to the door, I'm like, "I'm DJ Vice.
I'm Kanye's friend."
They would have probably been like, "Nah, you're good. Like we're cool." I didn't even know this place existed. And I walk in, and AM's playing the most random mix of Joan Jett to Journey to Jay-Z to Tribe to, it's all over the place, right? And I walk up to the booth because I'm like, fuck this girl, I'm gonna kick it with the DJ, right?
That's how you know you really love
out of here, right?
Yeah.
I go up and I look at him as AM, and I'm like, I think we met, and we look at each other. He's like, "Hey man," I'm like, "What's up?" He goes, "Yo, you judged the DJ battle that I was in at this record thing that," and I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, you're AM." He's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "What's up, man?" I was like, "Oh shit, what's up?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yo, jump on." And I was like, because he knew I was on Power, and I threw on the headphones, and I remember I dropped Q-Tip Vibrant Thing, and I started doing doubles with Vibrant Thing and rocking it a little bit. Yeah. And now the girls, I don't even where she's gone. Yeah. And now I'm kicking it with DJ AM, right? But I just knew he was the DJ from the battle. That's it. That's it. But I'm like, and I asked him, I go, "Yo, how do you play this set in here? Like you're playing a wedding set in a sense, like old school to new school, and everyone's loving it." And he's like, yo, that's what I do in this. Like, this is what I do, mashup shit over here. And I was like, this is dope, right?
Yeah.
So we exchanged numbers, and next time I kick it with him, he repeats my exact same set that I did with Vibrant Thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, this dude's dope.
Yeah.
So we just like clicked.
Yep.
We were homies.
Yep.
Definitely ditched the girl after that. I don't think I didn't date her after that year.
That's funny. I don't know why I thought you were going to say that that's your wife now.
Nah.
And I thought that was the story. And then we're like, I ditched her.
Nah. But that was the reason I took that chance trying to meet that girl. And if I didn't take that chance, I wouldn't have really connected with AM.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get the story, and I actually prefer for it to be that you just ditched her, and like that's how much you love DJ.
I didn't care. Yeah. And she was so hot.
Yep.
And even like I would bring her to the radio station. They'd be like, yo, she's like out of your league. Like she wears like snakeskin boots, bro. Like who does? And they're like, I was like, I don't know. That's what models wear, I guess. But I was like, cool. I'm cool on you. I want to kick it with this DJ. Like, this is dope. This is my world.
Funny. So then did that start Hollywood club life for you, or no?
It was started me and AM kicking it like in top of like 2000, 2001, and him seeing how much I had passion for it, and him saying like, yo, do you want to come rock these gigs with me? Like, you can open up or just hang out. And I was like, dude, I'm down. What is this world? And I was going to all these Hollywood clubs, and I started seeing celebrities at clubs for the first time.
Yeah.
Like you said, I'm 15 minutes outside of Hollywood where I live, and I have never seen Hugh Hefner and Enrique and Leonardo DiCaprio and all these people like partying to hip hop and like 80s and shit. And I'm like, dude, this is fucking dope. So AM opened up me to a whole nother world. And that's where radio took the back seat.
Got it. That's what switched it.
So,
and was that in the time when AM was doing all those like underground whatever parties and with all the celebrities at them and shit that were
he was doing like a lot of like hot Hollywood clubs that were like hard as hell to get in. There's my next shutdown moment, like where I crashed and burned.
Yep.
So now I'm rocking with AM. I'm trying to get little gigs with him, and AM's doing the hottest spot in LA called Las Palmas on Wednesday nights.
That's what it was. Damn it, I was gonna.
This is like insane to get into, like. And I went with him a few weeks, and I saw what he was playing, and I would maybe open for him. And then he goes, yo, DJ next week. I can't be here. I'm going to go get paid in another gig. He tells the promoter, hey, Vice is going to do this gig. And she says, no, can't do it. And he's like, yo, he's been here every week. She goes, no, I don't want any of those radio station people showing up to this club.
Oh, wow.
And also like, can he do it? Like, no, like, right. So at that moment it clicked again. I got to get off radio. Yep. Because this is the world I need to be in. Like, this is a bigger world.
Yep.
So I played the set, rocked the club. The next week, she
let you do it.
She didn't let me do it. AM let me do it.
Yep.
He told her, okay, cool, I'll be here next week. He didn't show up.
Yeah.
He said, just go DJ.
Yeah.
So I do it. I rock it. The next week I go back. She doesn't let me in the club. She's like, yeah, I know you did a great job, but I just can't help. I can't help you right now. Sorry. So I stood outside the club for like an hour and a half trying to get in, and I never get in.
What the fuck?
And I'm already like on radio, I'm doing this shit, but it's a humble moment where you're like, okay, cool. I'm cool with that. Like, I can figure this out.
But did that give you the drive?
It gave me fuel to be like, I can get in this world. I got this. Yeah.
And that was simply some bougie Hollywood shit because of what the listeners of Power 106?
Yeah, because the radio station crowd can't mix with like that Hollywood
like,
crowd. It's a whole different world, you know?
It's just crazy, I guess, too, to me, because now, I mean, it's not really an issue that much, right? I mean, like a deluxe can do mixes.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the worlds have blended up now, but back then, nah, no way, didn't work.
Crazy.
So it definitely opened me to a whole new world, and it was like Hollywood, and that's where Las Vegas came into play as well with AM.
Yep. And you liked, I mean, from the beginning, you're like, this is something. This is where the action is.
I just knew it was a bigger world to be in with the fact that celebrities, Hollywood, and I liked the style of being able to play all types of music.
Yeah.
I really liked, it was like almost like I could channel into when I was younger years of my sisters and brothers' records and be playing some crazy old school shit and mixing it up.
And that was as AM was like really exploding, right?
Yeah, AM was it was big, literally big, fat big.
Yeah.
And I was fat big. I was like 210 pounds at the time.
Really? You used to be fat?
I used to be 210.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was 210 all late night taco truck eating.
Yeah,
210.
that's true.
Yeah,
that'll do it.
But AM was popping. He was dating like Nicole Richie at the time, and so I was like in that world with him and DJing here and there and covering for him a lot of gigs and playing at like, I don't know, like a gig where Arnold Schwarzenegger is dancing next to Kenny G, and you're like, what is
You're
this?
What
Like,
the fuck is this?
this is crazy. And then he gets his first Las Vegas residency, and once again he has my back, and he says, yo, I got Saturday night, I'm gonna get you Friday night.
Yeah.
So he got me my first gig in Vegas.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Residency?
My residency Friday night, 2004.
And that was a big deal then,
and I'm
right?
still there. 2004. It's a long time ago. Damn.
It's the life you chose.
My liver's like, fuck you. And
No
I'm like,
shit.
but it's a fun time out there.
Are you still there every week?
I'm there every week since 2004. Pretty much every week.
What club?
I'm at Marquee nightclub in the Cosmopolitan.
Got it.
Yeah.
Have you been doing Marquee or Avenue here a lot or no?
I play in LA like maybe once a month.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you start to actually do less time on radio?
Yeah, I basically just start churning down all my shifts. I never quit. I just churn down every shift.
Got it.
So like, oh, can you do this one? I'm like, no.
Until eventually they just
Until they
said,
eventually like, this dude doesn't
"Fuck
want to even
off,
be on
guys."
radio.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was starting to play in Vegas as a resident every Friday night.
Got it.
So I was going back and forth and flying or driving back there and playing at the hottest new club in Las Vegas. Like it was called Body English.
Yep.
And I'm living it now. I'm like, I have a hotel room upstairs in the Hard Rock Hotel, and I'm getting paid a little bit more money now from Vegas.
Yeah.
And I remember my friend saying to me, he's like, yo, how long do you think this is gonna last? Like 2-3 months, maybe 6 months?
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, I don't know. This is too good. Like it was like my moment of like being in college at a frat house and partying, and it was great. And then a girl walks by and serves me a shot, and that's my future wife.
Ah, there she is.
There she is.
There she is.
She goes walking across the bar, dancing, comes down with shots, comes in the booth, and said, here's, hey, you guys want a drink? And I was like,
there she is.
Great way to meet you.
There's
serving
my
me a
little
drink.
angel.
Yeah.
And then did you guys start dating like shortly after that?
No, we were just friends because I was still back and forth with baby mama.
Yeah.
Because I'm still trying to be. So this is the point of my life where I'm still lost in my head because I so want to be a good dad.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna suffer being in a relationship I'm not happy with.
Yeah. That
I'm gonna stick through this because that's what you do. Because my parents are still together.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make sense for me to have a divorce or we weren't even married, a separated lifestyle. Like that doesn't comprehend in my head. I'm like, that's terrible for my son. That'll never work for him. He'll have problems. He'll have this. Like I should just stick with her because that's the right thing to do and be unhappy in this side.
Yep.
But everything good over here is good. Like I'm having fun. I'm like in Vegas, you know. So it was another still moment. A lot of like as good as everything seems and it looks like, oh, it's dope. You're playing with AM. It's not. Back home, everything's fucked up.
Yep. So you guys were just friends for a while.
Yeah, we were just friends for like a year. I'm still trying. Let's keep it real. I'm still trying to be like, hey, what's up? What's up? She's like, no chance.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
No chance.
Yeah.
Get away.
Yeah.
And then I hit a point where I realized like, dude, why am I in this relationship?
Yeah.
I also had, you know, like most kids growing up, you get the rough girl who fucks up your head and that she messed up my head.
Oh, yeah.
And I treated women like bad. I was just like, oh, I can sleep with any girl and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like I don't care about their feelings. Like kick it to the curb.
Yeah.
You know, and then I start hanging out with this girl that I'm going to eat with after the club and have breakfast with. I'm like, I'm not even getting anything from you, but I'm down to kick it.
Yep.
And I'm like, holy shit, I still can care for someone and give someone my heart because I was like, hell no.
Yeah.
Someone fucks you up once, and I'm sure a lot of us have been through it. You're like,
He's
fuck them all.
Savage.
You're a savage. Yeah.
I had that conversation with a girl the other day about like, she was a girl who was like being a little negative about how guys are. And I'm like, well, a lot of guys are that way because of how girls have been to them. Like girls are actually savages.
Yeah.
And she was, whatever. We were arguing back and forth about whether that's true or not. But like a lot of guys
it's like an ongoing cycle because someone fucks you up, then you fuck over 10 other people, and then they are gonna, all right, well, I'm gonna fuck over them and this and that, or there's daddy issue girls. There's all types, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm going through it all, and then I meet this girl and I'm like kicking it with her, and I'm like, this is insane that I like having breakfast at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. with this person and giving you a hug and saying bye.
Yeah.
Like we just had a great talk.
Yeah.
So my mind started changing, my mind state. And then at the same time, talking about surrounding yourself with good people and people that'll help you build is AM starts calling me out on a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
AM's like, bro, you're in Vegas now. You're getting drunk every weekend.
Uh-huh.
You're a mess. Like you don't. It's not a good look for you to be here and like be that guy pounding shot. And then also, what the fuck are you doing, bro? I go, what? And he goes, if you're not gonna be good to your son's mom, why the fuck are you with her? Get out.
Yeah.
What are you
You
doing?
need that person.
And I'm like, damn.
Yep.
And I was like, guys don't usually do that. You
And
know
they
what I'm
don't.
saying?
They don't at all. But you
No
need
one's
that
like, oh,
one.
everyone will egg it on, like, yeah, bro,
Yeah.
I was, oh, you got this, oh, you having fun, oh,
Because
you're
they all
killing
have
Vegas.
issues. You know, they have issues they're dealing with.
And
so
he
they want
calls
you
me
to have them
out,
too.
and that's why I've always said, like, dude, that dude was one of the best dudes in my life because he would just call me out on shit.
Yeah.
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 So I needed that moment for him to someone to tell me that
Yeah.
and be like, dude, just get out.
That's all you need a lot of times is just to hear it.
Yeah.
You know?
Someone to be straight up with you.
Yeah. So then did you make a conscious like, okay, this is it?
Yeah.
This
I'm
is
like,
the
if I'm gonna
moment?
pursue this girl over here, I'm gonna make the conscious move and move on.
Yep.
Because I was already starting to move things on with her.
Mhm.
That I'm like, and I was back home with a roommate in a sense, my
Yep.
son's mom. So I made that.
Oh,
that
so you guys
move.
were even living together
We're in
here.
the same house. Yeah, we're in
Yeah.
the same house with my
Yep.
son, but it's like
Yep.
two different worlds.
Yep. So then was it a nightmare with how having the kid who had
Yeah,
watching
yeah.
the kid
It was a nightmare in my head because I was like, this is fucked what I'm doing to my son.
yeah.
This is so shitty. Like that I'm separating his mom and me and this and that, and she has to move out the house and get her own place. And so but it's crazy because I'm looking at it now and I'm like, dude, that's the best move I could have ever done for my son.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like he's the happiest kid. Like he's doing great and
Yeah.
he's doing good because he sees that his mom is happy now and
Yep.
I'm happy now.
Yep.
You know, so
Was it bad in the beginning or was it always pretty easy as far as dealing with?
no, it was easy because I had another friend that was an older dude that has been divorced. Like, and tell me something. He said, "Give her as much as you can give her."
Yeah.
And he's like, "You weren't even married, so don't. But just take care of her as much as you can, and give her full child support. Even if you want, give her full child support, even though you're going to be 50-50." And he's like, "Because I know you're on to bigger things."
Yeah.
And he's like, "And if you're a bigger person now, he's like, it won't bite you in the ass later." And I didn't really understand, but basically what he was saying is like, you're going to make a lot more money.
Yeah.
And she can come back and ask for more money at any moment.
Yep.
Because she have a kid together. So I gave her everything. And like 6 months later, AM helped me get the biggest contract in my life in Vegas.
What was that?
I got I'm public with it now because at the time it was like I got $1 million contract in Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing like
So
that.
AM had
rumor.
one already.
Yeah.
And then AM finessed me to get one like 2 years after him.
That was how long after that talk? 6 months, you said, or?
That was probably like 6 months later.
Oh man. Fuck.
And I
that's
was
so
like, she better
cool.
not find out about this one.
No shit. No wonder it was such a secret.
But it was yeah, I guess it's like a moment where it's like, all right, cool, just do good and good will come to you.
Yeah. Man.
These aha moments, huh?
How old were you when you signed that contract?
So this was probably like, I was 27, 26.
Jesus.
26, probably.
And
like
that was unheard of, other than AM. That was
Yeah.
unheard of, right?
That was unheard of in our world. Yeah, like there's DJing you're playing records for
and
like.
were you an open format DJ?
Yeah,
right?
open format DJ, exactly. Yeah. So it
Man.
was a dope moment, and it was like, it was needed at the time to, in a sense, to help me be like, okay, cool. Like my life is once again in the right direction now. I've got rid of the baggage of like just being with someone you're not supposed to be with.
Yep.
Which we've all been there.
Yes, we have.
We've all been there for too long.
Oh yeah.
And my life started moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Definitely.
crazy. Check what's up with the camera. One of the cameras is beeping. I think we got a battery failure.
Is this short story longer than we thought it was going to be long?
No,
Are we good?
No, we're good.
All
We're
right, good.
cruising. Are we even in an hour
Kevion
yet?
still holds the record, bro. I don't have to worry about
He's
anything.
way past. What are we?
Oh, we're
1:15.
doing good,
fine.
man.
Kevion crushed us.
Woo.
Okay. So you're in Vegas. You have $1 million contract. You're 26. You've moved on. That must have been a really good time
Oh yeah,
for you.
yeah.
And where do you go? I mean, where do you take it from there? You just do more and more.
Gigs, I guess. I'm playing Vegas nonstop, and then I'm trying to build my brand outside of that and get, bigger gigs outside of anywhere I could. At the time, Vegas was so the money spot, though. Like it still is. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the spot where me and thankfully AM put me in the mix so early. It's a spot that has grown and grown and grown. And I've grown with it.
Yep.
Like those open format clubs, in a sense, in Vegas, I've been able to ride through the wave of like EDM wave that came in and try to wipe everybody out.
Yep.
And all the guys who knew how to DJ were like kicked to the curb. But I've always been aware of the fact that you have to keep rebranding yourself.
Yep.
And knowing your brand and being authentic to it, because when the EDM wave came, everyone's like, "Oh, why are you playing EDM?" I'm like, "Because that's what I basically played growing up at high school dances, and I'd play all this shit, and like I still have it in me."
Yeah.
So I was able to still brand myself and keep current with the times, because I knew like I still want to DJ. At the end of the day, I still want to play music for people, and the reason I do it is because I see how happy it can make everybody in one room.
Yeah. Did you used to be with Scam or no?
Yeah. So I had the same booking agency for 15 plus years.
And that was Scam.
So it was Scam Artists, yeah. And so I'm with this booking agent for this long, and I grew up with the company in the sense of like all the new DJs coming on, you know, the Eric Deluxe and when they get on, in a sense, everyone thought like I'm a part owner of it, or I'm like the ringleader of it, but I was just one of the DJs on it. I never owned anything. And I hit a point where whenever I get comfortable, I get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So like when I realized I really wasn't working that hard anymore.
Yeah.
It's almost like that itch. You're like, oh, I'm uncomfortable. Like and I was like, I gotta get out of my comfort zone of the fact that I can work 5, 6, 7 nights a week DJing. And it's great. And some of the gigs aren't great. Some of them are just, I call them money grabs. Some of them are like, really, like, why are they paying me to go play this place? It's not worth it.
Yep.
Like, it's not worth it for them or me. Like, I don't even feel right charging like them and them paying me for this gig that sucks.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to get off this roster and make a move that'll put me on the bottom of a roster and make me work hard again. So I got off and I got with CAA. I'm with CAA agency, which is gigantic now. And now I'm like at the bottom of the totem pole, like trying to climb up again. So I feel like pumped right now. Like, cause I'm like, my booking agent does like chain smokers and all these like big people, but it's like, my gigs are like down here compared to some of the shit they're doing. Like, so it's that exciting moment again where I have to really work hard to continually grow. I'm 38 now and I'm still in this DJ world. Like there's still a long way to go for me on this. And music is it. And that's why I'm putting out music too now.
Yeah. Talk about that. What are you doing with that exactly?
So I have a deal that I'm signed to Atlantic Records through APG. It's APG Atlantic, a dual deal. And basically I'm signed to Atlantic as an artist and I'm putting out music, and I'm working with, this is where I'm very honest about things, I'm working with the best producers and the best songwriters. Yeah. I'm a fan of like finding my weaknesses and finding the people who have the strengths.
You have to.
So I'm working with the best songwriters. Like my newest single out right now, Obsession, Sam Martin wrote it. Sam Martin wrote huge hits for David Guetta. He wrote Jason Derulo's biggest record. And then producers like Cook's Classic, who did like Kevin Gates' album. He did my single called Fire Truck. So I'm working with the best of the best, and I get to be in these sessions again with them. Kind of tying back like when I sat in the Kanye session or the Pharrell sessions. But now I'm comfortable and I'm confident with voicing my opinion on records and how I want to restructure them and how I want them to sound. And I know that I'm not the best producer, but I know that the person I'm with is, and I know that my input is valuable.
And that's what a true producer is. I mean, being able to like sort of have the higher perspective and say, you know, like, I mean, at this point you've been doing it for so long, you know what a hit record sounds like, you know how this stuff works, and like to be able to sort of, you know, have this person do this thing, have this do this, add your piece, like that's why so many kids still don't even understand what DJ Khaled does. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't touch a keyboard or an MPC ever.
He's a piece. He puts all the pieces together.
He just plays the whole orchestra.
I got to see that with Timbaland. Like I would see Timbaland work on beats, and then I would see him jump into other rooms and other producers are working on everything. And then he'd be like, oh, that one's dope, that one's dope. Like I'll sift through beats. I'm like, oh, that's the one. And then I'll work with the producer and they're like, dude, that record was like, I made that beat 4 years ago. And I'm like, this shit's hot though. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, like I play out 4 nights a week. My ears are tuned to what'll work. This will work. Let's run with this. And they're like, all right, cool. So it's kind of giving them like, oh shit. Like,
no, it's huge.
New fresh ears. All right, I'm in.
But that's like the difference of a producer and a beat maker, you know? Or a producer and a musician.
And I'm comfortable with that now. Before
Yeah.
I was always like, I got to learn how to do everything myself. And
Everyone does. Everyone goes through
It's
that
that
phase.
moment.
And everyone has that insecure, like, of like, no, I swear. Like, like I told you. Like,
I
you
did
know what I
this.
mean? Like,
I
yeah.
produced this. No, hell
Yeah.
no. I worked with a dope producer who helped me figure how help my ideas come to life.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I really would love to preach to people is just to own your weaknesses and to really grow from them and work with people that can help you. I have the best team. Everyone's like, oh, yo, that post you put up. I have the best girl on my side who holds down my social media stuff and then she'll keep me in the loop. Like, okay, this.
Yep.
To be first and foremost a great father, and then to move on down the list, like you have to have people help you with everything.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
You sew all the clothes for Young and Restless yourself, right?
Of
You
course.
sew every
I mean,
piece.
clearly, like I screen print every t-shirt.
Yeah, you do it, right?
I hand sew. And, I'm also editing this podcast as we speak.
As we speak, right? Yeah.
So, yep.
Shooting pictures, everything. You got it down.
So what would be your goal on that? I mean, I think I know, but is it like would it be like hit record, almost like sort of Calvin Harris style, like hit record, it's DJ Vice featuring Khalid and
Dope. I actually am after that guy. I've been
he's
submitting
so
records.
good.
He's
Get
so
one.
good.
Yeah.
Khalid's dope.
Right. So if you had DJ Vice featuring Khalid, hit
Yeah,
record,
exactly.
like that's the goal.
It's crazy you said that because that's the
Oh, he's the guy.
we're waiting on. Like I have this record that's so dope, and I'm like, oh, like I hope he hears it or listens to it. Yeah, it's great. 19-year-old, like from El Paso or
Yep.
yeah.
El Paso.
But yeah, it's working with different artists. A single I'm trying to finish right now is it's called Piñata. The song, like it's pronounced it pretty good right there.
Man,
I'm
you
nailing
know,
all these
yeah,
pronunciations.
Yeah.
But I'm working on a record with Cap G, who's signed to Pharrell, and Bia's on it as well. She's signed to Pharrell as well.
Yep.
And I'm trying to find the third artist that I can fit into this mix. And I've gotten turned down by like 5 people already on the record.
Really?
But I love that. It's like, yo, keep turning me down. Like I'm good with that.
What's the process of how you usually do that? You go through like A&Rs or management or something?
Dude,
Or just whatever you can find.
like how everyone talks about like trolling the internet and troll.
Yeah.
I'm a troll, bro.
Yeah, you
I'm
got
a fucking
to.
troll. I will find the artist, find out who they're following, and see who I know closest to that person.
Yep.
Hit that person up and try and link with them that way.
Yep.
And I use that for everything. I use that for artists. I use it for my electric taco show.
Yep.
So everyone that I've got, I try and find who do I know and how do they know them. And if I don't know them, I can find someone that knows them. So yeah, I troll
But
all
it
day.
works, man. I mean, even if it works 25% of the time,
Yeah.
that's all it takes. Because then you get to a point where people are blowing you up to get a chance to be featured on your next album,
Right.
and you're like, nah.
Yeah,
You know what
exactly.
I mean? And it's from all those
Exactly.
years of just sort of being a troll.
But I want to put out music that will that will take me around the world and back.
Yep.
I'm blessed enough to go back and forth across the country. This past weekend, I was in New York Thursday, Miami Friday, Saturday,
I don't know how
Vegas.
you guys do that shit.
Came home on Sunday, played with my daughter, kicked it all day, and then we're recording this on a Monday, but I'm in Vegas tonight.
Jesus Christ.
I have a Vegas gig tonight. So, but I want to keep traveling. I want to go to places I haven't been to.
Yeah.
I think one of the most valuable things I have in my possession is my passport and how many stamps I have on it.
Yeah.
I like traveling. Some people don't. I sat with one of your homies, P-Rod, and I was like talking to him, and
He doesn't like it?
I asked him, what's like your vacation spot? And he goes, I don't know. I've never been on vacation.
Oh, because it's all been skate trips.
Yeah, he goes, I travel everywhere, skate. I'm like, that's dope though. You get to go around the world
Yeah.
doing what you love.
That's true.
Me too. I want to keep going around the world and play in crazy places and DJ like random parts of this globe and
Yeah.
be like, I DJ'd there. That's dope. And music will take you there.
That could be a show.
Yeah.
It could be a show about the DJ, his life coach wife, traveling to the most obscure places to throw parties, and then also get some self-help while they're in the area.
Yeah, exactly,
Go-
right?
Like
Yeah,
go
I
to
mean-
Tibet and like do some weird like self-help thing, and then
That's how she got her name. Her social media name is I'm with the DJ.
yeah. I remember that. That's so cool. I just remember when I first met you or whatever that it was. I couldn't remember what your wife did, whether she
Yeah.
used to be a model or a waitress or whatever it was. And then the fact that it was that, and you guys were such a happy, like, good-looking couple, and then her name was I'm with the DJ. Like, it's just a real tight little thing. You know what I mean?
She was a cocktail server in the nightclub, and for everybody that goes to, whether you go to a nightclub or a bar, there's a disease that a lot of us have, and
Yep.
I don't know if you have it or a
Sure
lot of
I
guys
do.
have it. It's a disease called serveritis.
Yep.
And what serveritis is you're attracted to the server.
Yeah.
I think it's because they bring you a shot and you're like, I
Plus,
love
most
you.
of them
Hold
here
on.
are like hot as shit and in laundry.
Yeah, they're
I mean, Like, man, it's like, how could you not be?
Me and Deluxe always joke about that serveritis.
Yeah. Deluxe definitely has serveritis. He has, what do you call
No
it?
comment.
What do you call it when it's fucking, God damn it. What do you call it when it's over and over?
Like recycling?
Huh? Yeah. Well,
We're putting his biz out there.
God damn it. Eric, love you, man. Okay. What,
So I did leave something out though.
yeah, what, yeah.
I opened a shoe store in between all this as
Yeah,
well.
fuck, man. I knew it. I knew it. That's the part that I knew. Okay. So what year was that?
So that was 8 years ago. 8 years ago, me and two partners opened up a shoe store in Santa Barbara, and all off of passion for sneakers. Yeah.
And that was just like, let's just fucking do this. Like, I'll put up the money. Let's just.
Our third partner in Santa Barbara, who owned restaurants and bars and nightclubs, he put up the money.
Got it.
And
That's
then
smart.
the two of us worked sweat equity, in a sense. I mean, we worked for the store and the connections and
Smart. I
opened
just
a
assumed you did like the rapper move of like, yo, I got this.
Nah, hell no.
I got that $1 million contract.
Nah, hell
like
no.
10 years ago. Yeah.
It's crazy because even at that time, even if I got that, it sounds insane.
Yeah.
But it was like, there's so many bills behind the stuff you're doing and like trying to grow that it's like, even for you, people see you young and reckless when you started. It's like, dang, you're like, I remember seeing you on some of the early episodes and I'm like, dang, you're killing it, doing this. You're putting so much of that money back into your business, right?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I didn't even really, and at the time retail was so bad and the amount of money we had to throw in, I was like, hell no.
Yep.
I know I could put the work in, but I at the time I wasn't ready to put the money in. And I knew I had a lot of the connections with different people, and it worked out. We opened up, and within the first few months, we had a Yeezy release, which was the old like Nike Yeezy release.
Like the first one.
It was the second one, I believe. It was the second one, yeah. And that came out at our store, and then not too long after that, Kobe Bryant does his basketball camp up in Santa Barbara.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, "Yo, we're gonna get Kobe in the store with you to interview him," and I'm like, "Done." So I got to interview Kobe in the store, and our store was on the map. It happens real quick. I'll do this, a quick version of it.
Yeah.
Then the store is popping in Santa Barbara 2 years in, and then Cosmopolitan Hotel in Las Vegas is about to open. And I go there to walk through the hotel because I'm going to be the resident DJ at the club.
Yeah.
And I tell the club owners, can you introduce me to the retail department? And they're like, why? And I'm like, I have a little shoe store. It's 2 years old, blah, blah, blah. They throw me into the retail meeting, and I tell them I have the dopest sneaker store, blah, blah, blah. And they say, you must be the luckiest person ever because we have an empty slot next to the nightclub.
That's in the line for the nightclub.
And I go, not only that, my store in my store in Santa Barbara is side by side with the nightclub.
Really?
Yeah. That wasn't on my vision board though. That just happened.
And that wasn't a plan either in Santa Barbara.
That wasn't in, no, it was not
universe.
a plan. It just happened that way. I was like, oh, that's dope. It's synergy of the shoe store and then they were like, yeah, it's the same thing. It'll be side by side with a nightclub.
God damn it.
So story goes on. Two of the partners start not liking each other and claiming this, claiming that, and they sue each other. And I'm in the mix in the middle of everything, and I get thrown in the middle. And basically, I still ride for the store. I was still part of the store, and I'm my partner. And I bought out our other partner, who you know, Nick Nixick. He has 12 a.m. run.
Yep.
And then now me and my partner still run crossover in Las Vegas and Santa Barbara. And just like everything, dude, it's work. Retail's so much work.
Yeah.
It's so much.
Just constant.
Yeah. So luckily we have a team of everybody working on it, and I jump in and do my part here and there, and I try and keep it moving. But the best part about it is I love getting shoes. I've been a shoe head since it goes back to the beginning, Search for Animal Chin. I realized that's why I like Jordan 1s. They're skating in Jordan 1s in that.
Yeah.
In the old Powell days, weren't Jordan 1 skate shoes in a sense?
I mean, I think that they were just made into them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
They would be good skate shoes though.
Yeah, I did a documentary filming last couple weeks ago, and it's all on the Air Jordan 1. They filmed me about
the
it.
Jordan 1.
So they told me they interviewed Lance Mountain in it, and I was like, what? And then they told me, like, yeah, because they all used to skate in Jordan 1s.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I was like, wow, that's dope. Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
so I've always loved shoes. I mean, I'm looking at your pair of Air Mags. Got pissed at you before this interview because you wore them.
Sure did.
Just to floss.
Yep, got them a little dirty.
Straight up floss video.
Yep.
But
so that's good. So now you have the Connect. You just get all the new shoes.
Shoes for free. But then you hit this point of all you shoe collectors out there that you just wear the same shoes over and
that's
over.
what
And
I'm on
all
now.
your other ones just have dust.
Yeah.
They're just sitting there.
I'm big on that now. I
It's
have
like baseball cards.
a
They're
new
just
pair
collecting
of
dust.
Nike runners, and I just wear them into the ground. Those I
Comfy.
have those too.
Vapor Max.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been
Those are
wearing these
incredible.
over and over. I have this pair and an all black.
The
And
all
I
black
just-
are the ones.
Those are dope. And I wear those. I call those my beaters. So I wear
Yep.
them to clubs. No
Yep.
one can tell if they're dirty. Yeah. So I have the shoe store going. I have the music going. I'm DJing, and then I'm just kind of like doing everything anywhere I can keep the brand going.
That's dope, man. You're in a good spot. I like the idea too of the CAA. Like you're just signed as like an artist, right?
As an artist, yeah.
And then a record deal.
I would my electric taco show, which I do basically, and cruise around LA and get tacos.
Yeah, you do that. Would you say you do that once a month? You try
Yeah,
to do that
every
once a month?
at the top of the month I drop a new episode where we just cruise around LA, and I have a Tesla, so it's electric,
Yeah.
getting tacos, and I've had everyone from P Rod to Swaggy P to Roy Choi from the Koji barbecue or Koji taco fame.
Yeah.
I have an episode coming up with George Lopez that's in the works right
That's
now. So I have
big.
like it's a dope little lineup. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
And
gonna have
that's
you on it.
YouTube? I'm on.
Everyone, the reason I love this is because everyone claims they have the best taco spot.
What's the premise? I take you to my taco spot?
No, basically, I pick you up wherever you're at. We cruise around LA talking, and we pull over, get tacos at a predetermined spot that I pick out, unless someone gets bougie and they're like, no, I gotta eat here.
Yeah.
But I pick out a taco spot that usually you haven't been to,
Yeah.
and we grub tacos, drive you back, and drop you off.
Oh, easy.
Just hang out. Yeah, we just talk.
But
it's
what
all,
people
it's all
always try to
talk.
suggest, like, no, we should go here.
Yeah, but I tell them, nah, let me take you to some spot. Because I usually try and I took P Rod to a spot, and we pull up, and he's like, this is crazy. I go, what? He goes, this is across the street from the high school I went to. And I
And
go,
he didn't
really? He
know
goes,
about it?
I've never been to this spot. Yeah. The tacos are all right there. I kind of fell off on that one. Sorry.
Do you have a
P-Rod.
favorite? You have a favorite in all of LA?
Yeah, and it's in downtown LA. It's called La Reina Tacos,
Okay.
and she's on 7th and Mateo, and she just got the boot from her building because the rent, I guess, went too high, and they kicked her out. So she's a gangster. She got a truck right outside the building. She's like, "Fuck it, you're not gonna shut me
dope.
down." Their al pastor tacos are bomb. So yeah, so
Perseverance.
doing that, I try and do those web shows. I'm a big believer in just building your brand and everything that feels authentic. Like
Yeah.
Mexican from LA, don't speak Spanish, but I love tacos.
Yeah.
Let's roll and get tacos. And
So
I
good.
think you have to keep building your brand in different avenues for people to connect with you now, because music's one thing, but if you can reach people in other ways, then why
Yeah,
not?
yeah.
Like what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to figure it out, but it's just content. I know that it's content.
Yeah.
I know
it's
that.
content. And it's fun.
Yeah, I like it. I'm
Yeah.
getting it's fun now. In the
Right.
beginning, I would get nervous. I'd be like, I don't know what I'm doing. Now I have fun. This
Now
was
you're just-
fun.
Now you're just kicking it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're just kicking it.
Okay. Couple enders.
Yeah.
Number one. Let's just say you're sitting on your porch one day. You're 80 years old.
Yeah.
Even though all that clubbing and all that drinking, you're still gonna live to 80. You're sort of kicking back and like looking at your general like DJ Vice. Here's my thing.
Right.
What does that look like? What do you want your sort of big picture, like here's what I did, here's what I came here to do, sort of thing?
Give people happiness.
Yep.
Straight up. Like I leave every gig loving the fact that I know I changed at least one person's night in there.
Yeah.
That whether maybe it's someone in Vegas that lost 40K, 50K that night, or they got divorced, or
Yep.
they lost a family, whatever it may be. But I know music is the thing that gives me a feeling that nothing else can. And I know that when I'm giving it to people with 100% my heart, that I can change people's mood and vibes for the better.
Yeah.
So whether it's someone giving a motivational speech and it does that for them, like mine is to DJ for people.
Yeah.
So as much as working on music and all this, I just want it to translate to happiness to people.
That's huge. I wish in Vegas you could like somehow get a sort of list of everyone who was in the club that night and what they all did after.
Yeah,
'Cause
right.
I bet it would be mind-boggling.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you'd be like, man,
Wow.
what shit that happened that night. Okay, another one is you have an unlimited budget to put 20 billboards in every major city in the country. What's on the billboard?
Mine's corny like everyone's.
Yep.
It's just do what you love and love what you do.
Yep.
Like I had said it earlier that I was blessed to find out what I love to do at such an early age that I just kept going at it.
Yeah.
And I was doing what I love, and I still to this day love what I do. I was so happy the other day I met this kid that's a DJ, and he's they're younger and younger now. He's 13 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was talking to him for a little bit. I go, I want to let you know something. Is what I'm like, I'm 38 right now. And I know that sounds old, right? He's like, yeah, kind of. I'm like, how excited you are to DJ right now? Because I saw it in his face. I go, I'm still that excited.
Yeah.
And he was kind of like, his eyes open, like, dang, like I have a long road ahead of me of like this.
Yeah.
So I really do. I think, I mean, you mentioned it earlier, and I thank you for that, like being a good dude. I really just think that's what it's about for me, is to just be good to people and help them with their passion and help them get to where they want to be as well.
Yeah. Okay, last one. You have a chance, you bump into your young teenage self.
Yeah.
I would say maybe, I usually try to put it on a moment for people. I would actually put it like maybe right as you're just getting started in DJing.
Yeah.
Like literally maybe even after the party where you first saw it for the first time, or even maybe right before. I guess what I'm trying to put it on is like, you're just young, trying to kind of figure it all out. You know you want to do something important. You know you want to make people happy. What if you could give that little you any little bit of advice
For the road ahead?
Yeah.
For the road ahead is I wasted so much time in a relationship that I shouldn't have been in.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish
That's a big one.
I wish someone would have told me that. Because even my mom told me later after the relationship, and I'm like, why didn't anybody tell me this?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of us guys go through that we're like, that you're like, dude, why is he with that girl?
Yeah.
And then they'll tell you too, like, damn, I don't know why I'm with her.
Yeah.
And you're like, what are you doing then?
Yeah.
Get out,
It's
bro.
so weird too, because nobody wants to, like, I don't know whether it's that they don't want to make it awkward or get in your business, but the moment you break up, everyone's like,
oh, thank
I
God.
knew it. And you're like, what
Yo,
the
bro,
fuck?
we've been
You're telling me
waiting for this. You're like,
everybody knew it.
could anybody tell me this?
Yeah.
Yo, like, right?
The
Like,
fuck, yeah.
yeah, like I remember I would stay up working on beats all night on my MPC 2000, and my girl would wake up, my son's mom would wake up, and when she'd wake up at like 6 a.m. or something like that, I was like, okay, now I can go to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm
that's
like,
fucked up.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
That's so common though, man.
it's so common. That's why I'm saying, why doesn't, like,
Yeah. I
I'm
don't know
happy
what
AM
that
told me
is.
that moment too. I just want guys to be able to tell each other that shit.
Yeah. I don't know what it is in people's brains. I think girls do it way worse than guys, but in my opinion. But where you just stay in, I would even say that statement goes into friendships. It goes into working relationships. It goes into almost anything. Like there's a lot of times when people know that they're in something bad and they just stay with it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe you find a guilty reason. Well, it's better for the kid. When actually, no, peace and happiness is better for the kid, right? But at the time, you justify it.
You rationalize in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I believe that I want to. So back to what you said earlier, I want to keep giving people happiness, and I want people to give me happiness too. And some of the happiness moments is AM telling me like to stop doing shit like that. And I think that's a big moment that a lot of us don't do to each other.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So if you're friends with Vice out there, tell him the goddamn truth.
Yeah.
And I'll do
real,
the same.
Man. Keep it real. We're old enough now. We could take it.
Yeah, we
right?
can. You're right. We did it, man. Did we miss anything?
No. I think we're good. I just need to get you confirmed on video and audio that you're doing Electric Taco.
I'm in, and I love tacos.
You're not like vegan or anything weird.
No,
non-GMO.
what do I look like? Some kind of pussy?
Non-GMO?
Some kind of Hollywood bitch? What about plugs? You got anything to plug? Any social media, anything like that?
Yeah, man. I guess just my social media is really good. It's just at DJ Vice, DJ VICE.
That's good.
I know another good tidbit of advice.
Yep.
That I'm glad I ran with is trademark your shit as soon as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Did you
God
trademark DJ Vice?
Thank God I not only trademarked DJ Vice, I trademarked Vice.
Really?
Pre Vice Media.
What do you trademark it under? Like entertainment?
Entertainer, yeah. But I mean, the word Vice I beat them by like 3 years.
Do you have a case there?
We
maybe you should wait a couple more years and then just be like, hey.
No, we already worked it out. They reached out to me and I worked it out with them.
Fuck, that's cool.
Which is cool. Yeah.
Well, they are worth like billions of dollars now. So maybe circle back and just be like,
but yeah, man, just at DJ Vice's YouTube, Facebook. You could check out Electric Taco on my YouTube page. Yep. You can, I have a Sirius XM show every week on BPM. It's an electronic show. It's Vice Airwaves. And I'm a resident in Vegas almost every week at Marquee. There's a lot of places to catch me. You're from Ohio, right?
Yep.
I'm
Akron,
playing
Ohio.
I'm playing Columbus
Really?
coming up.
Columbus is popping.
Yeah?
Columbus is probably like the best, like for
Party scene,
traveling
college.
there, partying. Yeah.
So shouts to Columbus.
Yeah. Shout out to Columbus.
All right, maybe we get a drama appearance there.
I would love to. That'd be great.
Dangerous. That'd be
Bison
dangerous to take
drama.
you back to Ohio
It'd be fun.
to go partying.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hopefully, we've hung out in a lot of DJ booths in LA. We'll take it on the road.
I'd like to take it across the state lines at least.
Yeah, at least, huh? Yeah,
We'll start with tacos. We did it, man. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks
brother.
for making this happen.
Yes, tacos are next.
And we're out.